Accountability, my friends. You put accountability on a pedestal, your life will change. Do you know how liberating it is when you realize everything's your fault? It gets real good out here. Anything happens at VaynerMedia that's broken, my fault. You know why? I hired the person. Like, yeah, I get it that Sally's face. Guess what? I hired her. I'm obsessed with practicality. Everything I talk about feels so real, it just might take 11 years. And a lot of people don't have 11 years. They don't have 11 years because they're not willing to put in the work to be happy for the rest of their life. They'd rather complain. They'd rather blame somebody else. Team, it was my player teammates' fault. Work, my boss is an idiot. I have never lost and blamed anything else but myself. I love accountability. I love accountability. I'm disrespectful to entitlement, and I put accountability on a pedestal. We want to blame everybody but ourselves. We have zero accountability. You have subconscious bias. Deal with it. Period. When you actually realize everything's your fault, it gets really good out here. Because when you think your boss's boss controls your, when you think somebody down the street in a building controls your, then you get real sad because you feel helpless. When you realize you control your, things go. It doesn't mean that like when I say everything's my fault, it doesn't mean that that's true. It means that it's just a happy place to think about. It feels empowering. You know, like when people get mad at me, they're like, Gary, what about? I'm like, you're right. You know how many of those things happen to me? There's a million outside forces, but like, you know, it's really exciting to be able to think about like, I could possibly do something about this while, to your point earlier, still recognizing like whether it's grieving or being disappointed about it. You have to be able to do that, but it's just, you know, to me, it's like, what's the alternative?
I think accountability is very important.
Oh man, I'm a big fan. You know? Everything on you. Everything's your fault. You want to really win in life? You want to get real happy? You know why I'm really happy? Because I think everything's my fault. If I don't like it, I can change. Everything wrong at VaynerMedia, anything that ever happens, any piece of content, anything that ever happens in my life, 100% is my fault. And let me tell you what happens with accountability. You get real happy. When you feel that there's no other source controlling your, all of a sudden it gets happier. If you complain in the first hour I meet you, you're finished.
Yeah.
I think complaining is the tell. And if you ask me right now what's going on with my content, there's a really interesting vibe going on because it must be the cadence of our content. I'm getting so much content from people that are happy out of depression right now, and I cannot tell you how many of them are completely predicated on the fact that they don't make excuses anymore and they've taken 100% accountability. I genuinely think it's the unlock of happiness. When you think it's all your fault, what you realize is that nobody's in control, and all of a sudden you get happy. I just don't know how to complain. I always think somebody has it worse. And if somebody has it worse, you need to shut up. Whoever is the 7.7, if that's the number we're at, whoever's in last place, whoever that person is, if there was a world chart ranking and Sally was dead last, she can talk.